It's a Conspiracy is a proud member of the Alberta Podcast Network. Locally grown and community supported. For a list of other fun programming just like this one, please check out the Alberta Podcast Network.com, where you can find shows like Three Kitchens.
Okay, well, just to recap what we're debating here. So, Charlie, out of a misplaced sense of nostalgia, I think, is suggesting that the unwatchable Rat Pack Ocean's 11 is superior to the...
Wait,
objection?
Probably...
Objection, you're leading the witness.
Yeah, I apologize, sorry.
Do you like the original Italian Job or the Mark Wahlberg Italian Job?
I don't think I've ever seen the original Italian
I don't know
Job.
that I've seen the original either.
Is it with Michael Caine?
Wait, no.
It is,
a Michael
yeah.
Caine movie. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no.
But
I
like
would
when Michael
probably
Caine
the
was
original.
still young and super ugly, like the only person that thought he was hot was his wife.
Oh, I find Michael Caine devastatingly handsome.
Yeah, after he turned 60 and and got a haircut and fixed that rotten teeth that he had going on.
Oh, man.
I love Michael Caine just as much as the next man, but come on, bro.
This went from...
Have some standards, bud.
This went from a conversation on the Rat Pack to a needless kicking of Michael Caine. A caning, if you will. Caning.
Yeah.
Poor guy. Just doing his thing.
I still love him. He's amazing.
You like the Rat Pack though, do you, Charlie?
Oh man, I love the Rat Pack. And it was definitely cheesier, but what was that other movie that they did? Robin and His Seven Hoods? Gangster movie that was like Robin Hood?
Yeah.
I want to watch this.
Ugh.
That's a bad movie.
I'm all in for the Rat Pack stuff, man.
But it's long and boring. And
That's like all movies were then.
I guess it's just hard.
That was
to go
just
back,
the pacing
right?
of movies. Now
Yeah.
everyone's so, their brain's so TikTokified that movies have to be so fast, otherwise they're going to lose your attention.
But I don't think Ocean's 11, like the watchable one with George Clooney, I don't think it's like fast paced to the point of like nausea. It's just such a good story. And that heist, when you see it unfold, oh man, like
I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'm just saying I prefer the Rat Pack.
I'm sorry, you guys were talking too long. I lost concentration.
See, that's right.
Change the subject.
Greg's like 30 seconds a thing. That's 30 seconds a subject.
I've been trying to swipe you guys for at least 15.
Go up, go up.
This is crazy. All right. Okay, so we're season 4. What?
This is season 4.
This is season 4. So are we recording?
Yeah, she said it. Remember, you were talking about sexy stuff.
I was distracted by Greg just bashing Michael Caine for some reason.
A decade of Michael Caine, not him completely, just one of the decades that he was alive.
Just 10 years.
So welcome back, everyone, to the 4th season of It's a Conspiracy. This is the podcast where we lay out the beliefs behind select conspiracy theories, alternative accounts, legends, myths, and more. I'm your host, Andrew, and I do not claim to be an expert on anything we are going to discuss today, and will probably be wrong about everything because the original plan for today, I was going to be recording from my car, and then it's super rainy and cold and miserable outside. It's kind of glorious, so I'm stuck at home. But now I have my children glued to their iPads right behind me. So, hey, keep it down back there. So they're just being really cool and just quiet. They're both, I don't know if you guys can see them. They're both, in fact, behind me. Just
see one of them.
Yeah. So one of them.
Yeah. Just
I can't believe you just yell at your children like that for no reason.
That's right. Keep it down. I said, be quiet. Yeah, anyways, it's very effective. I just keep yelling like that.
They didn't move at all.
So...
Yeah.
I also have terrible Wi-Fi at my house, so just in case I cut out, that's what's going on. It's either child related or Wi-Fi related. Quiet.
That's what you get. That's what you get.
Sucker.
It is terrifying. So my son, his new thing is like he's a happy little guy. He laughs in the middle of the night. Sometimes it's like dead quiet, and all of a sudden you hear this like little. It's like, okay. It's terrifying, and then you're like, right, there's a toddler in here, but it is also like it's at the worst time too. Yeah. As always, if you'd like to see where we dug up whatever fuzzy, distorted Wi-Fi signals we're about to churn through, then please check out the resources in the episode description. Charlie, our operations commander, he works his juicy little keister off just putting those in there, and we're opening up. If you get to meet him in person, then you can thank him with either a hearty handshake, a friendly wave from a distance, or a nice slap on the shoulder, or maybe a nice slap right on the buttocks.
Ooh.
Maybe don't do that, but go ahead. Just ask first, whatever.
Just
permission.
tell him Andrew sent you.
Yeah.
Tell him Andy sent you.
This is from Uncle Andy.
Slap. We are a proud member of the Alberta Podcast Network team, which is great. Yay team, yay friends, yay squad. And I don't say this often enough. They're very nice about us doing things like forgetting, deadlines and like putting in the wrong ad and stuff. Like, they're really great. So thank you for continuing.
We never do stuff like that.
You can check us out at itsconspiracypodcast.com. Our Twitter at Is It a Conspiracy? That's run by the social media influencer See Irish Madman. Our Facebook group, our Instagram page, It's a Conspiracy Podcast. That's run by Gorgeous Greg. Our email and our Patreon page, patreon.com/It's a Conspiracy. Oh yeah. And a special shout out to our season 4 logo from Charming Charlie, which is just, speaking of masterpieces, just a master stroke.
You're too kind.
I didn't know what I needed until I saw that thing. And it was galaxy and purple.
That's right.
How do you know what to do with colors? How do you know?
Especially since you're so smell blind.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
My sense of color is heightened.
But you can barely see.
I know. That's it, man. I'm down 1.5 senses.
Hypervision glasses, baby. They make up for the loss.
This is really just my Superman cover. I mean, if I took these off, you'd notice a completely different person. I'm not going to do it. Don't worry about it. Forget I said it.
Maybe when we record the next episode, you can go like man bun, no glasses, and we'll be like, is that John Cena? Who is that?
I can't see him. I don't know.
You wouldn't see anything, yeah.
Yeah. Righty then. Joining the online distance communication time today is Gorgeous Greg and Charming Charlie. These righteous brothers will interject as they see fit, and I'm very appreciative of their digital company. The day when we can do this in person is coming soon, hopefully, maybe not, very soon. And I want you two to be forewarned that there will be a reckoning to suffer through when we do get together in person. So
reckoning.
Yeah, the reckoning.
What do you reckon?
Reckoning. I've got some snacks. I've been brewing snacks for like 2 years.
You're not the only one with snacks, buddy. We're gonna have a snack off.
All right, it's a snack off. That'll be perfect. Maybe we should come up with a different name. Yeah. Well, you're gonna have to break that diet for this. Let me tell you that right now. Break it. Charlie, with a yeah or a nah or a meh, can you tell me if you've heard of either of these theories?
Let's do it.
Number 1, the thought police.
No.
Okay. Number 2, a monster of the week with Charlie Scream.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Number 3, how on earth do the 3 seashells work?
Yes.
I got to throw a yes on this one.
Oh, yeah.
I've read some articles.
It's an interesting phenomenon. Oh, okay. Well, let's go to subject number 1, the thought police.
This is the police. Open up.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Dishes.
Dishes who?
Dishes, the police. Open up. I know.
It's like when you know you're walking too close to a cliff, but you just keep walking anyways, you know? You're like, this will be fine.
I hope that comes through in the audio. Like the deflating look on your face, like, oh, this joke is so dumb. Just like the sinking down. What are you getting into?
I don't know what was worse, like listening to the joke or like trying to pretend that it was funny.
Yeah, I know. It's hurtful either way.
Oh, man. I should have done this.
Yeah, well, it's not too late. We can always plug that in. That'd be all right. I do hate to slip into opinion time early.
You didn't even start the first subject yet.
We need to preface this here.
Jesus.
This theory harkens back to an earlier episode on the New World Order, and this theory is prime material for A, that guy at the bar that you wish you hadn't sat beside, kind of like the time cube like that. B, the drunk uncle who corners you at family gatherings that everybody else is trying to avoid. And C, internet people who make a career out of outrage, like in comment sections and stuff like that. Yeah, this is their wheelhouse.
Here we go. We're keeping it real.
Creeping it real. The Thought Police are the enforcing branch of none other than the New World Order.
Oh, yeah. So
Razor Ramon, he's going to slap the cuffs on you if you don't watch it. So you better check yourself before you wreck yourself. Now these quote police officers quote aren't running check stops. They're not handing out parking tickets or anything like that. Rather, they are enforcing the will of the autocratic overlords pulling the strings behind the whole thing. They're the ones whose supporters claim will silence or even abduct you if you express political or social opinions against the norm.
No, it's Eric Bischoff. You're not going to get that. Don't worry, Andy. You're not going to get that. Great.
He's trying to recruit you to WCW. Yeah, do you even know what's going on, bro? Yeah.
So, for example, the guy at the car dealership who lost his job after going on a racist tirade online, he's a victim of the Thought Police. The employers were unwilling pawns that just went along with the whole thing. That lady who was roasted on social media after defending racist stereotypes at Halloween, victim of the Thought Police. So there, that's making sense. Do you guys see what we're getting at here? I'm not sure who Eric Bischoff is, but I is this one of your wrestling things? Okay.
Yep.
Supporters of this theory are particularly concerned with the subject of censorship, which they see as an attack on free will. This is an attempt at mind control or just blatant brainwashing. They're concerned with things like red tape and propaganda, which in effect are a tool for social engineering, all designed to reject free thinking among the masses. The fear of sticking out leaves you a social pariah, and your very livelihood is at stake. Now, what is unavoidably true is that a number of dictatorships throughout the years have employed actual secret police and established organizations to control aspects of a culture. However, the phenomenon of being afraid of the thought police is almost exclusively an issue in sort of first world democratic nations, where the accounts of Big Brother, man, it's all Big Brother, working on secret agendas are rampant. Apparently, the kinder the public image of a leader, the more intent on global domination they are. So if you have a leader who's like I'm all right and let's just all get along, it's like, that's the guy, he's trying to take over, he's a fascist. And then if you have a rougher person who's like, I'm gonna slap down the law, whatever, so it's hard to know what is and what isn't. One running narrative among some is that the appearance of such a government is signaling the end of the world, which we've got to be almost there, right? We've been talking about it for years. It's 2012 according to the Greg calendar.
At this point, I'll believe it when I see it. All right, pal.
I'm just glad you're calling it the Greg calendar, you know? Oh, time it gets recognized.
2021, man. None of this Gregorian crap. It's Greg. Let's just call it the Greg calendar.
Yeah, let's update that a little bit.
Yeah. In the book of Revelations, the final book of the Bible, the Antichrist is described as secretly forcing a number of evils on people and forcing them to both worship him and wear his symbols. Now, popular candidates for the Antichrist leading the thought police are, number one, the Pope. Whichever Pope it is, they're going to be labeled as the Antichrist.
I thought it was the Black Pope. So there is the Catholic Pope, but then there is the Black Pope, also known as the Jesuit Pope, who, although might seem like the same religion, but have different meanings and backgrounds. And the Jesuit Pope is known as the Black Pope.
The Black Pope. I think the thing there is that it's like, if you're not into religion, you're like, the Pope's the Antichrist. Or if you're like a Protestant, the Pope's the Antichrist. Or if you're another branch of whatever, the Pope's, it's just whoever happens to be the Pope at the time. If you're opposed to them, they're the Antichrist. I don't know. Number two, Carpathia. So this is the antagonist of Charlie's favorite book series, Left Behind. He is the leader of a coalition of European nations. It all begins with one currency, then one government, then one will. One will.
And hey, Charlie, then one world order?
One world order, yeah.
Well, I've never heard of this book series. is it?
You've got a poster on the wall right behind you. I can see it.
What is it? I don't even know.
You know what Left Behind is. Nick Cage is in one of the movies.
He's in one of the book movies?
He's in one of the book movies. Yeah.
Wait, what are we talking about here?
I'm lost. I have no idea what we're talking about anymore.
Number 3, Nero Caesar, the ancient Roman emperor's name, apparently translates to, if you translate his name into Hebrew and then back into Greek, his name literally translates to 666. And he has long been seen as the ultimate opponent to Christianity. So Nero Caesar is one of the people who are like, oh, he's the Antichrist.
4.
Hitler, pretty obvious reasons there. Number 5, this one's pretty great. Mikhail Gorbachev, among a number of other reasons, the former leader of the Soviet Union, he had a very distinctive birthmark on his face, which was thought by many to be the mark of the beast.
Mark of the Beast, of course.
Yeah.
The
At the mark of the beast. Yeah.
Number 6, Napoleon. He did a lot for certain Jewish populations, which immediately, again, made enemies. It's right there. It's that whole opponents thing. He had a number of beefs with Catholic Church and their leadership. And then he went on a straight out blood-soaked world conquest, called himself the emperor, tried to take over everything. So he was seen as the Antichrist by some. And then lastly here, and I'm not even going to say which one, so just U.S. presidents. So it's kind of like the Pope.
All of them.
Whoever the president is, so it's just like the Pope thing. Whoever the president is, there will be a number of people who are like, that's the Antichrist, and the end of the world is right around the corner. So this sounds very pertinent now, but it's absolutely nothing new. In fact, a number of people back in the 60s suggested that JFK might be the Antichrist when he was assassinated. Apparently, part of the prophecy told in Revelations is that the Antichrist will be wounded in the head in a way that will appear lethal and then will make a miraculous recovery. People were like, when he was shot, they're like, he's going to come back from the dead. He's the Antichrist. It's the end of the world. So, yeah.
Oh, man, it's Carl from The Living Dead or Walking Dead. I don't know what the show is. I never watched it.
Carl.
He gets hurt in the head and then he comes back. Carl.
Oh. Spoilers for The Walking Dead.
You're not missing nothing.
You don't want to watch it. It's not.
I hate that show so much. Like I gave up on it. So yeah. Anyway, they're trying to censor the ways into our brains and control the languages we use in order to make us all abide to the will of Hollywood Hogan.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the Thought Police. Boy, we veered off into some other territory there.
Yeah, I got real confused. When it gets to opinion time, my opinion is going to be, what happened?
Walking Dead is horrible.
What happened? Oh, well, speaking of what happened, Charlie, what are we drinking here? We haven't, what are we drinking in such a long time?
What are we drinking?
And it can be, what are we drinking?
Okay, well,
what have we drunk recently?
Here's a nice, refreshing, cool glass of Kirkland brand vodka.
3 months of note that you would like
to. Water. Oh, not off the top of my head because I didn't prepare for this one. Pilsner beer.
Made in Lethbridge, that's Saskatchewan.
That's right.
I do have one here that can you guys see my screen if I share?
Yep.
Okay.
First Accent Goose.
First Ascent Gose. Oh, jeez. So this is I talked about it in the last episode here. I was in BC for about 2 weeks, and I stopped by the Fernie Brewing Company, and I had myself a First Ascent Gose. Tart, refreshing, salty. This kettle soured wheat ale is highly carbonated, unfiltered, and light in color. Tart, with small additions of salt and coriander, making for a very refreshing beer with bright flavors and high attenuation that is not aggressively sour. First released back in 2018, First Ascent has proved extremely popular with the sour crew, and next returns June 2021. So it was a new batch, and it was good. It's a sour beer. You know
but was it tart?
It was very tart. It's one of those, it was good, and I like sours, but I'm like, one can, and I'm like, okay, we're done. Let's put a
one and done.
Yeah, one and done. I'm going to drink one of these, and then I'm going to have something else, but I really enjoyed that, and it's really good. Mm-hmm. But I'm also, I don't know what the protocol is for sours. I know there's a protocol for dark ales.
Well, I think the protocol is that they're supposed to be sour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, it's bad form to drink a dark ale before the Labor Day weekend. So
That's a horrible joke.
Oh boy.
It's horrible because not a lot of people are going to get that one.
All right, then, Greg, have you got something that you of note that you would like to?
Yeah. I've been a huge fan lately of the Alberta Premium Dark Horse. It's a Canadian whiskey. It's so good. My mom ended up picking me up a batch because we rarely see it. And I was like, hey, if you ever want to get me an early Christmas present or anything, this is the one. Light notes of vanilla, really great flavor. Man, I can't say enough good things about this product. It is so good. Get it, drink it, love it. It's yours. It's an Alberta premium product, so it is like a cheap Canadian whiskey, but it's like they're not cheap Canadian whiskey.
Oh. All right, that's going to take us to ad numero uno.
This episode of It's a Conspiracy is brought to you by Yeg Podfest, presented by the Edmonton Community Foundation in partnership with the Alberta Podcast Network and LitFest, Canada's non-fiction festival. Running October 1st through 3rd, Yeg Podfest will be held all online this year, so anyone can tune in to experience it. Events include masterclasses with professional podcasters, panel discussions, feature interviews, and more. Some of APN's member shows will be there too, so join us for the virtual party from October 1st through 3rd. To check out the full lineup and get tickets, head to yegpodfest.ca. That's YEG podfest.ca.
Okay, we are back, and we have got subject number 2, a Charlie Scream Monster of the Week with Charlie the Scream.
Hot diggity. Well, let me tell you, this week we take you to Frederick County, Maryland, to a beast that has been terrorizing folks since the 1730s. It's the legend of the Snallygaster.
That is quite the name. Snallygaster?
I picked it before I even read it just because of that name. Well, let me tell you about it. The Snallygaster is a bird-reptile chimera birthed from the superstitions of German immigrants and boosted by sensationalistic newspaper reports. Sightings of this creature originate in Frederick County, but also expand into central Maryland and the Washington, D.C. metro area. Now let's do a little bit of origins of the Snallygaster. The earliest sightings. In the 1730s, Frederick County is settled by German immigrants. Not long after, early accounts of this creature start popping up when the community starts being terrorized by a monster they refer to as Snallygeist, which translates from German to quick spirit from Wikipedia. The earliest incarnations of the creature mixed the half-bird features of a siren with the nightmarish features of demons and ghouls. The Snallygaster was described as half-reptile, half-bird, having metallic beak lined with razor-sharp teeth, occasionally alongside octopus-like tentacles. The Snallygaster was rumored to swoop silently from the sky to pick up and carry off its victims. The earliest stories claim that this monster sucked the blood of its victims. Yum! Just like a little Capri Sun, you know?
Is that O positive? Little A, B plus?
Different flavors. So septagrams equals safety. It was thought that 7-pointed stars kept a house safe from the Snallygaster, and they can still be seen to this day painted on local barns in the area. So I don't know why he just he got really freaked out by 7-pointed stars. He was like, oh no, I ain't going near that. No way.
It's too many points.
That's too many points. So then they take a little break for a little while, and then the legend of the Snallygaster was brought back in the 19th century and used as a means of frightening freed slaves, which is not very nice.
No, definitely not.
You monsters. But then, fast forward yet again to February and March of 1909, when reports of the Snallygaster start resurfacing in the local newspaper, with residents reporting encounters with a beast with enormous wings and a long pointed bill, claws like steel hooks, an eye in the center of his forehead. It was described as making screeches like a locomotive whistle. Oh, no, wait, that's not right. That's probably a little bit more like it, yeah. People were so worried about these appearances that the Smithsonian Institute actually offered a reward for the beast's hide. It got to the point where U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt even considered postponing an African safari he was planning to go monster hunting.
Ooh.
Right? Not the only thing hunting the monster. Apparently, Snallygaster has one widely known enemy called Dewaya. The Dewaya is reported to be a mammalian biped with features similar to a wolf, but the stance and stature of a human. The sightings of Dewaya are primarily reported in West Middleton, Maryland, but sightings have also been reported in the Wolfsville, Maryland region. What a coincidence. The Dewaya and the Snallygaster have reportedly had vicious encounters dating back to the early settlement of the Middleton Valley. The Dewaya might be a good story for another time.
Ooh.
Sadly, as these things do, at the height of its popularity, the Snallygaster was revealed to be a hoax by the Middleton Valley Register editor George C. Roderick and reporter Ralph S. Wolf in an attempt to increase readership. Their description of the beast borrowed themes from the OG German folklore, including dragon-like creatures who snatch children and livestock, and also appeared to invoke descriptions of the Jersey Devil, which had been spotted mere weeks earlier. So, Snallygaster gone, but not forgotten. So, while that might be the end of the reports and sightings of our Snally Pally, its legacy lives on into the 21st century, including books. Patrick Boyton published a history of the Snallygaster in 2008 entitled Snallygaster, The Lost Legend of Frederick County. And also, a name you might recognize, J.K. Rowling has included the creature into her Harry Potter universe, including in the 2017 edition of her book, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. The Snallygaster appears in the 2018 video game Fallout 76. Greg, this may interest you. There is a blended whiskey produced by Dragon Distillery of Frederick, MD, also released in 2018 called Snallygaster, which sounds amazing. I think we should try to track some down.
I agree.
There is a frighteningly delicious sounding flavor of ice cream called Snallygaster from the South Mountain Creamery, which is peanut butter flavored ice cream with caramel swirl, peanut butter cups, and pretzels. So I'll take a pint of that with my whiskey, you know? That sounds like a great evening right there.
Make it a double.
There's also a beastly beer jamboree called Snallygaster, which is an annual beer festival that was started in 2011 and I believe ran as recently as 2021. And last but not least, a punk rock band called the Snallygasters from Baltimore, Maryland. So next time you're in the Maryland area, make sure you get all snallygassed up on all things Snallygaster. Back to you, Andy.
Woo!
Nice. I would have edited it out normally, but you said gone but not forgotten.
Forgotten.
And after reading all that German, I think we have to replace.
That's so perfect. Yeah.
Forgotten.
Not forgotten.
He's not forgotten. So yeah, no, that's gonna have to stay in there. Sorry.
We'll see.
I'll say, I forgot to take it out. Yeah.
Don't thought police my mistakes.
That's going to take us directly to subject numero 3. How do you use the 3 seashells? Now, a bit of a preface here. The 90s were a rough era in a number of ways. For those that lived through it, we're not really ready to talk about. Somehow, we can manage to ridicule pictures of our elderly relatives from the 70s and their questionable fashion choices. But the outright insanity and long-term trauma of the 90s really has yet to be fully addressed, in my humble opinion. Greg, you're very lucky you were born after the chaos settled down. Count your lucky beans.
I was born during the chaos.
You were born in 2004. We've talked about it.
God damn it, I'm so tired of that.
Now, one exception to the madness of the 90s is the cinematic masterpiece Demolition Man. Sylvester Stallone, Sandra Bullock, Wesley Snipes joint, and despite a ridiculous premise, it is majestic to behold. I say this while fully acknowledging that I haven't watched it since a sleepover in like 1995, and it probably hasn't aged well. I just want to keep those memories sugary and glazed over and just warm and fuzzy. And maybe we should go back and watch it sometime, but I don't know if I'm ready to do that yet. One lingering question on the mind of anyone who has seen it is, how the hell do you actually use those 3 seashells? So spoilers, for anyone who hasn't seen the movie, Stallone wakes up in the future and, amongst other things, is shocked to find that the toilet paper has been replaced by 3 seashells. At one point in the film, he rightly asks, I was going to try to do a Stallone. Charlie, you must do a Stallone.
I can do a Stallone. I can do a Stallone. Nothing's over. Just give me something to drink.
So he asks, how did the 3 seashells work? Do you guys want to give that a spin? How did the 3 seashells work?
How did the 3 seashells work?
Oh, it's Rocky.
I think what he says is like, you out of toilet paper. All I saw was 3 seashells.
That question is met with ridicule from none other than one of the most punchable faces, Rob Schneider. Stallone absolutely should have pulled out his beheading knife from Rambo and just taken Schneider's stupid gob off his shoulders right there for being just kind of insolent. Anyways, fast forward to 1997, early days of the internet. Stallone creates just a fury. Can you believe the internet had a fury in 1997?
Fury.
A fury. So he's like, I don't know how to do it.
Just swing for it.
I'm going to share the secret of the 3 seashells.
It's pretty good.
Spot on. Oh my God. Did you get Stallone to like visit you for the weekend?
No, this is me. And I'm assuming that he shared the secret when he was in a weakened state brought on by drinking gallons of bovine growth hormone. But whatever was going on, he decided to open up about it. So step 1, you take 2 of the seashells and you place them between your fingers to use like chopsticks. Step 2, using the 2 seashells, you gently pull on the feces to remove them from your posterior until your bowels have been completely empty. Number 3, using the 3rd seashell, you scrape away any fecal remnants from your posterior. Number 4, you dispose of all 3 seashells in the toilet and flush. Step 5, don't use all of them. That would be shellfish.
It's just gross.
Man.
No.
Bonus fact, 2013, Sandra Bullock revealed that the shells are also tiny maracas and add a musical element to the hygiene approach. So I'm not sure if she was also weakened in a state of bovine growth hormone, but something was going on there. She's like, they're little maracas.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah,
That's super weird, man. Oof.
Now, some people, since 1997, some people have been like, I don't know if I get this whole like scraping away fecal remnants. There could be a couple of other approaches that we could use for this. So these are a few alternative theories. Number 1, they could be an elaborate bidet system, just like in Crocodile Dundee, right? Hey?
Okay.
Number 2, they could actually be full of tiny hermit crabs who leap on you when you're done and snap you into cleanliness.
That sounds terrible.
Number 3, they could be purely decorative, as people don't actually poop in the future. So if you've seen the movie, you have to remember that this future is one in which sexual intercourse happens via some kind of weird virtual reality porno helmet. Do you guys remember that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so maybe people don't actually poop. It's just decorative. The whole thing is decorative. Number 4, and this one is my personal favorite here, once again to slip into opinion time. This is actually an elaborate ruse played on any new police officer. So they still have toilet paper. They're just having a little gag.
They're just doing the go get a bucket of steam routine.
Yeah.
I need you to get some ice mix. A rum wrench. We need a rum wrench stat.
And I don't. What's his name in Demolition Man? Is it John Matrix?
John Spartan.
John Spartan. Okay, so that's such a 90s action name. They're always like John, Jack, Max. Like they're just names like that. So, I mean, you don't want to mess around with someone whose name is John Spartan, but that could definitely
the guy that he's trying to get is called Simon Phoenix. You know, it's a pretty badass name too.
Yeah.
Now, whatever the actual answer is, that movie is awesome, and we should probably just stop recording and go watch it.
All right. Well, see you guys later.
See you later.
Recording ended.
Okay, so this is going to take us for reals to ad number 2.
With Pod Power, our sponsors are making it possible for us to amplify the voices of Albertans and Alberta podcasters. This episode, Edmonton Community Foundation is helping us give a Pod Power shout out to High Level Hip Hop. CJSR presents High Level Hip Hop. It's a deep dive into Edmonton's hip hop scene and the artists helping shape it. The show takes a unique approach to introducing listeners to the OGs and young bloods of Edmonton's hip hop scene. The show is aimed at those who love local music, but might not have had a chance to fall in love with the city's surprisingly diverse hip-hop scene. Each episode features an interview with a local artist, plus a fresh track they recorded at CJSR. Check out episodes with Arlo Maverick, Please Be Nice, and more throughout the season. High Level Hip Hop is produced by CJSR, Edmonton's campus and community radio station. Download it wherever you find podcasts and at highlevelhiphop.transistor.fm.
It's opinion time. It's opinion time. Go on, listen all y'all, 'cause they gonna speak their minds. Oh, it's opinion time. Ain't it fine on opinion time?
Okay, so we're in opinion time. Righty then, Chunks. What was our first theory?
The thought police, they're coming for my brain.
And Andrew, what was our second? It was the Snallygaster and that tasty peanut butter ice cream that had pretzels in it. Which
that's why you remembered, because of the delicious sounding ice cream. Absolutely.
How do you forget the word Snallygaster? That's going to be in my brain for the rest of my life.
Good.
Yeah. And Greg, what was our third?
He doesn't know how to use the 3 seashells.
So I don't know if we have any thoughts on, like, Greg, do you have any thoughts on the 3 seashells that you'd like to share here? Like, you've dealt
as someone who's wanted to do this for the episode for a while. I didn't know you were going to do it. So,
sorry.
No, it's okay. I've looked into it. And as you say, in the future, it seems like their diet is just much more better than anything that we would be doing with our regular day lives. So maybe like they're just eating the perfect amount of fiber that, you know, the way you described using the 3 seashells is probably the best way to use it. But how did we all of a sudden realize that bidets were the way to go in the future? We just decided that 3 seashells were, you know, I really want to scrape my butthole. And,
we had them. And then we were like, you know what's better? Seashells that we wipe our butt with uncomfortably and then also still throw them away.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe
that was something I just realized when you mentioned it. You know, like they still throw out the seashells. I would have thought that they cleaned and sanitized said seashells for reuse. But if they just throw them out, then they're just making it more waste. And it probably takes more to create maraca seashells for your butt than it does to make toilet paper.
But also, how many times have you sat there trying to go to the bathroom, like singing to yourself, like, I'm going to make it through this. And if you had some maracas, still alive.
Are you telling me you don't have a pair of bathroom maracas just laying around on the toilet? Come on.
A bathroom tambourine, or
I didn't know they were available.
Yeah, it's just you got a clarinet in the shower.
I mean, they go way, so far back, tambourines and maracas in the bathroom, so far back because they were originally used to scare off predators.
Genius.
That's not really a concern.
So now you're just scaring off everybody that lives in your house.
You know, it's
Wait,
like
everybody leave. Someone's going to the bathroom.
it's like it becomes a more socially acceptable way of, you know, when you're in the washroom and you got the door closed and somebody walks by and you want them to know that you're in there without, you know, so you clear your throat just to let some, or if you're in a public restroom and somebody comes in, you just want them to know you're in there. You go, you don't have to do that because the whole time you're like, and they're like, okay, it's obvious that somebody's in here right now.
Alternatively, you could be like, oh, I'm going to make a loud sound. I'd better use my harmonicas to cover that up. Like the classic, like when someone coughs and they're like, like that could be it as well. Like, oh, there's a maraca. I didn't hear you straining in there.
I didn't think about that. Never mind.
So I guess with the Snallygaster, I think it sounds fun. I think that's a fun word to say. And I'm glad that J.K. Rowling has like incorporated that into her books, and it should be a flavor of ice cream and rum and beer and everything.
I feel like we should go on a trip to Maryland and you know, check out this beer festival. Hopefully the band plays the beer festival. We can get some whiskey. We can get some ice cream. This is all things pointing to win.
That sounds great. Just land at the airport, be like, Snallygaster, please.
Yeah, take me to Snallygaster Alley. Also known as Alligaster.
That's right this way, sir. It's Christmas Day.
Where's all the Snallygaster stuff? Oh, you're looking for Alligaster.
So do you guys have any thoughts on the thought police? I guess, Charlie, do you want to take a swing at this one?
I did, but they all got stolen and redacted. I'm not allowed to say them.
You're not allowed to say anything on this. Yeah. Do you feel like censorship, like publicly, is a thing? I mean, it's okay if you do. Like this is what Opinion Time's all about.
To an extent, it is. But you know, usually the people crying wolf or whatever are I don't know, questionable subjects, you know.
Yeah, like they want to oh, my freedom of speech, but they don't want to have the consequences of
exactly.
You know. So if somebody, for example, if they lose their job because of some gross thing they like were doing, do you think that's a branch of the New World Order, or do you think that's like
No, I think that's probably don't do that gross thing, dummy.
Yeah, and then the business is like, we gotta publicly go separate ways here because
That's just the business using their own free speech, bro. Free speech runs both ways.
Yeah, Greg, what do you think on this? And I just thought police in general, or censorship, or whatever.
I think freedom of speech is overrated.
Okay.
I know that sounds like whatever, but like, you know what, a majority of not a majority, but a vast amount of people out there are just pretty much reiterating what they've read and are uneducated on. So maybe there should be some thought police, and maybe there should be a point where someone says like, no, you have to rewrite this tweet because what you're saying is inaccurate. That being said, you know, think what you want to think. Doesn't mean I have to listen to it or integrate it into my sense of being or thoughts or anything like that.
I know one of the things that drives people crazy is it's like you get a new term for something and it like updates the old term, and the old term is now offensive, and you're like I'm sure we can all think of examples of this, but I'll try to, like, if I say I was at this office and the secretary, and someone's like, whoa, hey, you don't use that word anymore, and it's like, oh, sorry, and you weren't trying to be derogatory, you just used the previous word that you used before that. And a lot of people with other more sensitive examples, like I know there was a couple years ago where RuPaul was like thrown under the barbed wire because of using like the word trans.
Oh, hi there. Sorry. Hi. Hey, just a quick editor's note. In 2014, RuPaul came under fire for making the comment, I've been a tranny for 32 years. The word tranny has never just meant transsexual. Oh boy.
And it's like you're gonna get mad at RuPaul for using the word trans in an insensitive way. Like I'm pretty sure RuPaul would be one of those people where it's like the current word is this, and maybe update it, but like don't lambaste this person over that. And I mean, you know, like you gotta listen to their heart. Like if someone has a negative intent, it's like they're using gross language, but if they're using kind of the updated version, it doesn't necessarily mean that their heart's in the right place. If there's a nice intent there, you can always update the language, but kind of a gross intent behind it can't be. That's a different issue.
Right.
Does that
intent
make sense
and context.
Well,
intent and context. Absolutely. Yeah.
I think maybe some people need them. That being said, free speech is, you should be allowed to say whatever you say, even if it's mean and derogatory. But I should be able to tell you to shut the fuck up at the same time.
I told you that door swings both ways, right?
Yeah. And freedom of speech never means freedom from consequences. Like you can say what you want, but boom, you're gonna get called out on it. Yeah. All right. Well, what a thrilling voyage of chills, spills, and kills. Thank you so much for checking out our very first episode of season 4, The Voyage Home, and we do hope you come back very soon. In the meantime, if you'd like some chuckles in your pants, then check out all of the past casts and social media stuff at it'saconspiracypodcast.com, and take care.
Bye.
See you never.
Forgotten.